Hey everyone. I thought I would put together 6 different breakfasts for you that would give you some ideas on what to eat with a GLP-1 medication. Personally, I'm on Zepbound. I started back in February on 2.5, and the first month was great. I had no food noise. Actually, the next day had absolutely no food noise, and that was amazing to be able to get up and not keep asking yourself the same questions on what should I be eating, looking in the pantry for stuff to eat, opening up the refrigerator constantly looking for stuff to eat. It was amazing. And that first month I lost 8 pounds. I was very happy. The next month I did go up to 5.0, and it was basically done on the advice of my doctor, and apparently Medicare wanted you to go up after the first month. They said something about 2.5 is just a dose to see if you are good with the medication, and then to go up. So I did that. But I was on 5.0 for the next 4 months, so 5 months total. I did lose 38 pounds in those 5 months. And so it's been a really good thing for me. I've been really happy with it, and I haven't had any side effects, which was awesome. And basically, I feel great. I can do a lot more, and I'm very happy about that. So anyway, I have been coming up with different recipes for myself. I usually eat very similar things. I did a couple I did what I eat in a day, and I also talked about the plate, the GLP-1 plate, so you could check out previous videos on that. And this one I thought, a lot of people are asking me about breakfast. So I try to keep it very, very simple, around anywhere 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. So this is kind of what I came up with for this video. And the first one is going to be egg muffins. And so I actually have 9 muffins that are filled with the Amy Lou chicken sausage that I get from Costco. So I basically cut up, oh goodness, how many were there? There was 3 of them, 3 sausage patties, cut them all up into bite-sized cubes and put them in the muffin tin. And then I mixed up 6 eggs. So I have 6 eggs in here. I have 3 tablespoons of a shredded cheese, 6 tablespoons of red pepper, and 6 tablespoons of red onion. I do like a lot of onion and pepper in my eggs. And I also have about a half a cup of cottage cheese. Might have been a little bit more. And I'll figure out the whole recipe for you and write that down later so that it'll be in the description. All of the ingredients and how long it's in the oven and how long to bake it. So I basically have all of that in here, and I am just going to switch my fork here, and I'm going to evenly try to put it in each of these muffins. You can take it right up to the very top, and it's probably going to be a little messy, but hopefully I'll have enough for all 9 of them. I think so. But I really like an egg dish. I think I've probably eat too many eggs, but I do love eggs. I love the hard-boiled eggs that I get from Costco. And I'll try to have a couple of those every other day normally. Sometimes if I'm a little hungry later on in the evening, I'll have one just to add a little bit more protein, but it definitely helps me have a little bit more. The protein doesn't have any fiber, of course, in it. But so that's basically it. And then I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven for about 20-25 minutes. You can go in after 20 minutes and kind of shake it a little bit. If it still jiggles, leave it in there for another 5 minutes. But basically, 2 muffins are 342 calories, 35 grams of protein, which is amazing, and not much fiber. But if you want fiber, add an apple to it. That'll be a really good way to get your extra fiber, and an apple's always something I have every day. So that is the first recipe. The second meal that I'm going to make for breakfast is like a tortilla quiche. And this is the tortilla that I have. It's from Muffin, and it's a low carb tortilla. There's like 17 grams of fiber in here, which is amazing. So I took this bowl, it's oven proof, and I sprayed it. I did also spray the muffin tins too with, this is what I use. I use this avocado spray that I get from Costco. It usually comes in a 2-pack, but it's 100% pure avocado oil spray. So spray that and then set your tortilla in it so that it comes up on the sides. I'll show it to you here. So it comes up on the sides. And then I'm going to put a whole bunch of spinach. Looks like way too much, but as it cooks, it's going to disappear. And then I have about 2 tablespoons of red pepper and onion. I like red pepper and onion and everything. And you could put anything in here. You could actually add more sausage from the breakfast sausage. You could add pieces of chicken. You could add slices of ham. That would be great too. And then I'm going to put in probably 1/4 cup, maybe even a cup. Not a cup, I'm sorry. 1/4 cup, or I think 1/4 cup actually, that was perfect. So here it is. And then I'm going to take 2 eggs. I did add just a little bit of water, like not even a tablespoon of water in here. I have salt and pepper, and same in here, salt and pepper. And I also like garlic powder, so I put that in there. And I put a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese in here also. So then I'm just going to pour this, try to do it evenly around the edge and in the middle. And then just kind of press it down a little bit so that it gets nice and evenly distributed. There we go. Okay, so it kind of looks like that. Not very appetizing looking, but that's going to go into a 375-degree oven, and it's going to cook probably about 25-30 minutes. And that too, just kind of shake it up a little bit. You can push on it a little bit with a fork and make sure that it's cooked all the way through. But you can also see when it's going to be cooked too, the edge gets nice and crispy. And the cheese, because there's cheese in there, that'll start getting bubbly on top. But these two are really good recipes. And seriously, the mixture that went into this tortilla, you could actually cook it on the stove and add it to a tortilla and make a burrito out of it. That would be really good. You could actually make a few of them and do a little batch prepping and maybe make 3 or 4 of them for the week. Keep them in your refrigerator. So all you have to do then is just put them in the microwave for maybe 45 seconds, and that would be great. I have this, the tortilla quiche, and then I have the muffins, and I'm going to go ahead and bake them now. And then I'm going to be back with a couple other breakfasts that I love. Okay, while the quiche and the muffins are in the oven baking, I just wanted to show you one more thing that has to do with eggs. I get these hard-boiled eggs from Costco. They come in a big box, and it's a 2-pack. It is 68 calories for 1 egg and 6 grams of protein for 1 egg. So for the 2-pack here, 12 grams of protein, and sometimes I'll have just this, maybe 3 eggs, and I'll have an apple. And that's a breakfast for me. Not too much. Maybe a little bit later on in the day, I'll have a protein shake to get my extra protein in. So I'll have that. Or I'll get these Thomas's English muffins. These are the whole wheat variety. There is 120 calories in one of them, 4 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber. So I'll toast one of these up, and I'll get one of those Amy Lou breakfast sausages, and I'll just microwave it, and I'll put it on the English muffin, and I might just take 1 egg and slice it up and put it on top with some sriracha, and I have a breakfast sandwich. Those are really simple. So there's 2 ideas. These eggs are really good from Costco. All right, we're getting away from the eggs now, and we're gonna go ahead and do something a little more fun. So I love, as many of you know, I love a good parfait. So today I'm going to do the blueberry parfait. So here we have about 3/4 of a cup of blueberries, and I get the frozen blueberries from Costco. So 3/4 of a cup. And then I'm going to take about 3/4 of a cup of the non-fat Greek yogurt that I get from Aldi. And I measured it out, and that's about what's in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in. Sometimes plain yogurt is a little boring, but with the blueberries on it and a little granola, it's very tasty. But one time I put a little bit of honey in there and a couple drops of vanilla extract, and it just took that yogurt to a whole nother level. So that I have the blueberries and the yogurt. And then I like the Purely Elizabeth. This is the original salty sweet granola that I get from Costco. And it almost took the cottage cheese right on the floor. Anyway, this is 130 calories for 1/3 of a cup. I usually use 1/4 of a cup, but 1/3 of a cup. There's 3 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber, and it's really good. So I am going to be giving this to my husband because he loves it too. So I'm going to use the 1/3 of a cup because he likes the granola. And I'm just going to put that on top. And I'll add a little extra for him. So that is something too that I have for breakfast, and it's really good, and it's filling, and I absolutely love it. And sometimes I'll have a little bit smaller portion in the evening if I feel like I didn't meet my protein quota and I just want to have a little bit extra. I'll go ahead and have the yogurt. I don't think I told you. It's 90 calories for 3/4 of a cup, and it is 16 grams of protein. Not high protein. 16 grams is still really good, but it's a really great addition for breakfast or a little dessert later on if you need it. So that will be for him. And then another one that I really like, and I actually, when I was working downtown Chicago, a friend of mine and I would go downstairs to the restaurant, and this is what we would have for breakfast. So first of all, a glass. And there is a cup of cottage cheese in the glass. So the first thing I'm going to do, if I can do this evenly, hopefully, is put cottage cheese in the bottom. Then I'm going to cut a banana. Well, this banana has some brown spots on it, but it'll be all right. And I'm going to cut some banana. And then I'm making a mess. Hang on 1 minute. All right. And then I'm going to take just a few shavings of sliced almonds. And I'm going to put that on top. Not a lot, just a few. And then I'm going to repeat. Take the other half. Try to do this so that it's not all over the place because you want it to look nice. And then we're going to take some more banana. making sure I have enough for the top. A little bit more of the almonds. Almonds are very good for you, but you have to make sure you don't eat too many because they have a lot of fat in them, but it's probably very, very good fat for you. Nuts are really good for you. Oops, the rest of the cottage cheese. And then the banana. We had this all the time, and I don't know how much they charge for it, but it was back, oh my gosh. We came from Wisconsin. I grew up in a small town of Franklin, and after we were married, we ended up moving down to Chicago, and we both worked downtown Chicago. And I worked right across from the Schubert Theater, if anybody knows where that is. I don't think that's around anymore. And like I said, we had this many mornings because it's very healthy and it's not, it fills you up, but yet you don't feel like you're bloated. So anyway, that is, of course, you need a better spoon. You need one of those long, pretty gold spoons. Have to make a memory note there of getting something like that. That is one pretty Parfait, and it's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to have all of these recipes with the oven temp and the bake times in the description for you. The ingredients I got from either Aldi or Costco, and I'll share that with you also. And let's see what's coming out of the oven. Came out of the oven. Quiche looks better, but the crust is nice and crispy, and you can see all of the spinach, the onions, the red pepper, the egg, the cheese. You can have this whole thing. Awesome. These look a little funky, but they're very, very good, and they're nice and brown on top. Again, there's the sausage from the Amy Lou chicken breakfast sausage. There's eggs, red onions, red pepper, and of course a little bit of cottage cheese and some regular shredded cheese. But these two are very, very good. I hope you like all of these recipes, and stay tuned. There will be more. There will be more about my journey on Zepbound. And I'm really appreciative that you're here with me today. Please subscribe, like, and share this page with anyone who might enjoy it. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.